IDF for its, for its doing decides to arrest more, or they try to arrest as many as they're releasing. They try to add a list of deaths because they're shooting at kids who are just playing football, known as soccer, an 8-year-old kid. And again, it goes to show, 20-some years ago in Africa, we were told specifically that if we think about how bad it is in anywhere in the world, whether they're bombing or whether they're whatever evilness is going on, America, our country, particularly when you look at our urban people, our indigenous people, take the brunt of every last bit of it. In other words, the mass shooting, the drive-bys, the homicides, people are gunned down in America more than people have gotten killed through bombings this year in Palestine. Very interesting. And he went on to say, the brother Yunus went on to say, people run away from the bombings to America only to get shot at. And exactly 4 Palestinians or 3 Palestinians in Vermont, were shot at. They, alhamdulillah, they're in good condition as far as we understand. And, the uncle says that we got him out of Palestine. One of them, we got him out of Palestine. So that thinking that he would be safe, but here he is getting shot. And that's exactly what was said 20 years ago. Oh, actually, it's more than 20 years ago now, but we want to stay on track. The bottom line is, you have to accept everlasting peace because no one wants war. If you really don't believe in war, you really do not want the violence, you really do not believe that you are the sole victim in the world, you really do not believe that you are the chosen and the best, you're entitled to whatever it is that you want, and you can do whatever it is that you want to anybody who is not of your race. Don't we think that is inequality? I mean, can you put yourself in the shoes of the other, the opposite, the one whom has to actually accept this belief system, this reality of yours? Mind you, it benefits the white nationalists more than anybody else. It's not so much for Judaism as it is for white nationalism. Give up the white nationalism, which, by the way, there is not in America are we going to have white nationalism forever. Maybe somewhere else on the earth. But America, no way, no how. In America, everlasting peace will everlastingly be the way of America. Okay? So it is not, that's for that reason you're getting what you're getting. This is just a beginning. For that reason, we having the demonstrations or people out there demonstrating to show you where it's beginning. It's just a beginning. But this nationalistical ideology of those who have and those who have not, particularly when those who are at the top, they're so full of corruptions and charges and everything under the sun that they're hiding instead of coming clean, while they continuously, criminalize all these systems that, no, it's unacceptable. That's the point. That's exactly what the statement was several days ago. Your information has failed you from the very beginning. Either your information or your leadership, whichever it is, they both need to go back to zero. Because now you are extended into Gaza, but you actually have the opposite end. You have the south, you have the Lebanese border, you have the Red Sea, you have the international outcry for an absolute end to this nonsense. You have the Prime Minister being charged with corruption. You have a whole political sham going on. You have everyone who knows anything about the Middle East understanding that hospitals out of all places have been bombed. Your bombing has killed more Israelis than it's actually liberated. Your ground incursion has caused more deaths of your citizens than it has helped to liberate, and that's embarrassing for you. And the reason why you will be able to survive this is if you embrace Islam. Because we know our prophet was not lying. We know Muhammad, our brother, our sibling, he was telling the entire truth. We know if those Houthis from Yemen, those who have left out on foot, if they reach your borders, they're not just coming there to rescue a few Palestinians. They're coming there to literally get justice. They're coming for justice. And you and your lies. This girl was supposed to be dead. She is found alive. So if she's one out of how many is the question? How many more are you claiming to have been dead? First, we know your numbers kept going up. Some are still lost, some are missing, so it's 1,400. Then it came down from 1,400 to 1,200. Was it because this one, did you include this one, and how many more did you include saying that they were dead instead they were alive? So out of 1,200 now, you've gone and you've managed to displace more than 700,000 people, more than really 1 million people. You've literally disrupted the entire social infrastructure of 2.5 million people. You've been in control of their food, water, gas. You've been in control over that, which you clearly cut off. And then you claim you are not an occupying force. You had to defend yourself. As an aggressor, you had to defend yourself. It's like one saying, I take martial arts so I can go rob places. Martial arts is self-defense. Why would you carry a self-defense? Why would you take up self-defense only to be an aggressor? Because you're no longer defending yourself. That's no longer the purpose. The purpose is to take people's land, displace people. This state, this white nationalist supremacy state, they got it from their masters. Who are their masters? The founding members of slavery, the founding fathers of depriving justice and truth, whether we were from Europe or whether we were from Central Africa. That's who they got it from. We do not see what has happened in Canada. We do not know the history of Canada in the United States. Wars fought here over what? Because we were solving a problem, or the people who were fighting it was solving a little minor issue as far as beliefs, religion? No. They all had the same religion, the Civil War. You stole people's land, then you stole people, and then you stole their identities, and then you have them working on your behalf. They get paid 1 out of 10. People find out that King Charles, William and Harry's pops, that guy, that individual, the one, the royalists who actually were fighting against the United States, and then now they're best friends with the United States. Those who believe that their blood is sanctified, they have blood that is absolutely sanctified blood. In other words, it has no evil can touch it. It's pure blood. Those who were, again, taxing America too much, so America picked up arms against those folks. They have the king that takes the money of the poor if they don't have a will left behind. Prophet ﷺ told us the importance of leaving a will behind. But I have yet to see or hear about any banker or banking representative coming to knock or call and find out who is relative of any of the relatives who passed away to give them back the money that was left in the account, even if it was 1 cent. I've never ever heard anyone even get a letter, a correspondence of any type. Where does our money go to? The grave? I doubt it. Yes, that recently came out that this is what he's doing. He's taking the money of the deceased poor people who don't have wills. What is America doing? Anybody thought about Social Security? And how much of it we pay and how much of it we actually get back, or our loved ones get back when we pass on? How much of that really goes back to the federal government? We have to be mindful. Open up our eyes and accept the truth, the entire truth, nothing save the truth, is really the only way, because anything other than such is falsehood. And that's what's got IDF into so much trouble right now. They're not able to, they claim to have circled. So they have a couple of reports. First, militarily, they claim to have moved in gradually. It's going to take time. They claim to have encircled northern Gaza. They claim to have cornered the militant leader, Yahya Sindi, or Yahya something. I forget his last name, or his last name is not completely coming to me. Sinwar, yeah, mashallah. Sinwar. And thank you for that correction. And then he has, and so they claim that. They claim that he was cornered in a bunker and they're about to take him out. That was also a claim. Then they claimed about the headquarters being underneath the hospital. An ammo depot, they had such a great layout of all of that. All right. Thus far, and also they claimed that they were going to stop and outroot the resistance. They said they were going to do all of that. And on top of that, they were to rescue hostages. Thus far, just in their aggressive means of 54 days, they have done none of those things. They did not free any hostages with any special forces that they had. They did not uproot the resistance. The resistance is still there and is still working in an operative form, in an operative format. They were unable to suppress the resistance then. They were actually unable to rescue hostages alive. Instead, they have flattened the ground, arrested in these raids that they do in the West Bank, in Jenin. You know, it's unbelievable. It is unacceptable. Now the entire international community says no more. This aggression, this bullying, people, everybody has to stand for justice. Everybody has to stand for, in a sincere manner, not just stand for what you say is justice. Are you really being sincere about what you're standing for? If you're lying to yourself, you cannot be sincere. If you're lying to another, you cannot be sincere in that either. So IDF went from being on the offense to being on defense. So many, close to 400 armored vehicles disabled. Over 1,300 casualties since the ground incursion. The economic status, again, no one wins in war. The first that is victimized in warfare is the truth. The second that has to take the brunt of all of this is not one individual here, one family there, no, the entire economy. Economically, all right, they don't understand that they're losing economically. It's not clear that this has brought you more economic grief than anything. So many jobs are now vacant because all of these reservists, your economy has stopped operating from the working force area, cutting it so short. And your budget is also in question because this war is costing you too much money each week. More money than you can muster. More money than America actually owes China. But that's really just another aspect of it from an economical perspective. From an economical perspective, you're losing. Intelligence also had failed you on the October 7th, and it's failing you again today. Politically, you are also losing at the international community level. The images of the soldiers are very unprofessional. The soldiers of the IDF are looking very ragtag. They're just looking like they have no more sense mind of civil order and professionalism. They all need to be, debriefed. Something needs to be done with those who've been in this combat, because we also know through the mystical divisions, they saw number of, unhuman beings on the battlefield. Yes, they were there because they're fighting the power that is being called upon by the destitute, those small babies whom you all just, claim to be human shields, when you don't even know what a real resistance looks like. So I think we are going to make sure that the divisions that departed from the mystical and the spiritual side were again of our mechanized Medcorps division was dispatched. The Dua and Adhkar brigades also been reinforced. Of course, we know, again, injustice is there, but injustice is everywhere. And we beg our Creator and our Maker and Sustainer to clarify and substantiate in front of all of those Iblisis allies that what He decrees is for the truth, the entire truth, and nothing save the truth. Become abundantly triumphant in the capital of the Iblisis, with the United Snakes of America, capital of the Confederacy, Richmond, Virginia, until the day of judgment. And we say wassalam, and peace be upon all of those seekers of truth. And wa akhiru da'wana, our last saying is that all praises is due to the Lord of all lords, the Creator of all that exists. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.